Hello and good afternoon. This is a follow-up to part four of Flat Earth versus Globe experiment, and it's the update for the 23rd of June. And I have some good news and I have some bad news. Let's start with the good news. Uh, Lindsay Harris has made a video of what he would like to present um, as an experiment to prove that the Earth is in fact flat. Yes, and that's by measuring the electromagnetic field of the Earth using the compass tip. Now I'll put a link for that in the show notes under the video in the description box. So that's the good news. He's made a video about that, and when we had our meeting with Dave Weiss, um, he did present it very briefly, but this is a much better video um, of the whole thing. So that's the good news. The bad news is that Shiva, I Adurai, excuse me if I've not mispronounced his name, but he has not got back to us. Yes. Now he proposed to Dave Weiss in February this year. He made a public agreement to do an experiment with 10 scientists, which he would supply, and 10 flat Earth people that Dave would get together. So two groups of 10. And we do the experiment the 14th of June or the 13th of June. Yes, Friday the 13th, as Shiva said laughingly. But he didn't get back to Dave, and um, he said his assistant would get back to Dave, but Dave contacted his assistant, contacted Shiva, and there was absolutely no reply whatsoever. And that was for February, March. So by by the end of March, I was getting worried, and Mindshot made some hit um, videos about Shiva and how he was not very good in the interview. Yes. Now I'll put a link for that interview um, in the description box as well, so you can have a look at that. It's 6.5 hours long, but it is worth looking at. Yes. And in it, you can see that Shiva makes a public agreement with David Weiss that the experiment should go ahead on 13th or 14th of June. And Dave said, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. It's all on video. And I was really, really expecting this to happen. It seems that Mindshot did a poll on it for who expected it to happen, and nobody said it would happen. Yeah, because Shiva just didn't get back to Dave. So in April, I contacted Shiva's organization and got a reply from Michael, the UK CEO, and Shiva's assistant for his political group here in the UK. And basically, he said, well, we had a 30-minute chat, something like that, on the telephone, and he was very positive, and he wanted to uncover the deception, yes, which is the globe. Now, if it is a deception, he wants it uncovered, and he was enthusiastic about that. He sounded very enthusiastic on the telephone. Yes. Um, and he sent me an email. And I'll put his email in the description box as well, so you can actually see it. Yes. Um, he wanted me personally to get a team together of or maybe just the flat earthers. He wanted us to get together a group, um, decide on an experiment, and he would do his best, he said, to make that happen. Now, I've got that in writing. So we've got it. Um, we've got the word of Shiva that would go ahead, um, public agreement, and we've got it's in writing from his UK CEO, Michael, that he would make it happen. Yes. So we got everything together. We got our group together. We decided on one experiment. Um, the experiment which you saw in part two, I believe, of this mini series, um, Flat Earth versus Globe. So we sent that to Michael, and he sent it on to Shiva. So he said, but he also wrote me a very negative letter, let's say, that he wasn't interested at all in the flat Earth. His tone had completely changed, and doing his best to make it happen was simply, passing on the experiment to be done to Shiva and directors in America. Well, that's fair enough, but he should have done more, I thought. I did suggest to him in a later email that he does the experiment himself because it would be advantageous to uncover the deception, if there is a deception, that NASA is forcing upon the world and on the children and everything, and on the workers, and that the American public are paying 30 billion dollars a year, and similar in Europe, yeah, for the European Space Agency. We're actually funding that, and if it's all a hoax, if the Earth is flat, and you can't actually get out of the earthly system, you can't get up past the dome. You can't go up further than say 75 miles or 80 miles. Yes, we don't know about that, but we certainly have a lot of theories about that, and we've done at least one test, which showed that 72 miles up was the recorded the height of the dome, but that was an independent test. It should be done again repeatedly under supervision. Anyway, we Shiva and Michael, they didn't get back to us, and so sadly, I consider that they've actually lost the debate, or lost the opportunity to prove what they said, and they didn't keep their word. So that's not very good. Politicians, you expect them to keep their word, and if they don't, that's very bad, very, very bad. Especially on a very simple subject like this. I mean, it's not going to cost billions of dollars to get this experiment done. We reckon in all it would have cost about $1,000 to hire a plane for a day, repeat the experiment, get it all tested and everything. It nowhere near 30 billion dollars that NASA's getting paid. Um, so very, very sad for the world that Shiva and Michael did not live up to their word. That's a very sad thing to happen. Um, but you can't trust politicians, and you definitely can't trust them once you catch them out not keeping their word. Yes, because they will waffle their way out of everything. Now, what I think happened is both Shiva and Michael were positive about doing this experiment, but what happened? They were contacted by their controllers or their handlers or their advisors and said, "Stay away from flat Earth. Do not go near anywhere near flat Earth because we don't want them to know the truth." Yes, we can't reveal the truth of it. So that's the update for today, the 24th of June 2025. Um, of course, if I hear any more news on this subject, I will let you know. But that's basically it for me. That's the good news and the bad news. So bye from now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.